this episode of Are We Recording NFL Picks.
Nah, hold on. I need more energy out of you.
No, listen, dude.
I need more energy after you.
Heartbreaking game to the Lions on Thursday Night Football, and I'm a little heartbroken right now. Hey, you stop that, all right? you got to show me some love, man. My team's going through it right now. But, I mean, actually, we're not. We're in the playoffs still, but that was a tough loss to Detroit. Detroit's a really good team. And I think I'm more upset that my Jared Goff pumpkin take is not looking so good because
I think it's looking perfect. I mean, I think with Goff, it's always been with this Detroit offense. It's so good, but it's like it's easier said than done, right? You have to make Goff try to create for himself and for others. And when you can get Goff in that bag, you'll win. Easier said than done, but Goff can't. He's not a play extender. He doesn't have that X factor, or even like a Y factor. Like Goff is a really solid quarterback, but you get pressure in his face and you ask him to create outside the pocket or not even make moves with his legs, but just try to extend plays. He cannot do that.
Well, to our Detroit Lions fans who are watching this a minute and 30 seconds in, we're sorry for shitting on your quarterback. But hey, this is the Are We Recording podcast. This is what we do here. All right, This is what we do here. That's the young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton.
Bar.
And I'm 007 Gage Sutton. And we are here to give you our overreactions for NFL Week 13 and our predictions for NFL Week 14. So,
but before we get started, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel right here. Follow us on Instagram at AWR Podcast, as well as TikTok and X, or what was now before known as Twitter. You'll see us upload there pretty much daily. We're uploading there a TikTok, a reel, something every single day. If you just want more of the AWR guys, as well as check out our Spotify. We have this podcast called the Are We Recording Podcast, where we talk about a lot of music and sports as well. Less NFL picks and more like our lives and culturally relevant stuff. But it would mean the world to us if you guys would follow us there on Spotify. I mean, we just posted our Spotify wrap to show how much of growth that we've shown this past year or so. So it'd mean the world to us if you guys check us out on all those platforms.
Yeah, appreciate all the support we've been getting on these videos and all of the love that we're getting on the podcast too. So really appreciate our audience, and we hope to continue growing into 2025. But as we move on, we will tease a little bit that we will do our end of year awards. So if you're interested in music and all that stuff, make sure you really are subscribed because we're getting into all of our award season.
And it's coming up here soon. And I know we promised there our GNX Kendrick Lamar review, and it is coming up within the next week or so. I mean, busy schedules. We're trying to create content and make some money at the same time. But it is coming out. So please subscribe so you guys stay up to date with everything that's going on with us.
Love it. All right, man. Well, with that being said, let's get right into it. Our Week 13 NFL overreactions. I'll let you take the forefront on this one because you have a very hateful and I think aggressive agenda that you're trying to push right now, I think.
I don't know if it's hateful. I think I'm a realist. I tried to tell you guys about who Christian McCaffrey was at this point in his career, and you didn't listen. Christian McCaffrey is cooked, and the 49ers are in some deep, deep shit. This season's done. I know a lot of people make jokes about how bad Dallas was from last year to this year. The 49ers are right there in the same exact boat, and nobody seems to talk about them. And McCaffrey, I know he's been nursing his injury pretty much for the entire season. It came back about 3 weeks ago. Well, his season's cooked again. What was it, ACL or what was it, Achilles?
Yeah, this is his PCL this time.
PCL, pardon me, PCL, and he's cooked. And honestly, that's another season-ending injury for McCaffrey. He had about 2 of them in Carolina and now has another one with the 49ers. And I think it's pretty safe to assume that we're getting very, very close to the end of Christian McCaffrey's career. Sooner rather than later, unfortunately. Because I don't see how the Niners really, I wouldn't say bounce back with him, but it's like, can you trust him to be healthy next year? With him having, because wasn't the thing that he had like even before this PCL, like a chronic, according to Cox source, he had like a chronic injury with his muscles and
He
or
has
his.
arthritis in his Achilles, is what they were reporting. And yeah, I mean, you're right, bro. He spent a lot of time in Germany this offseason getting tested on all of that. We didn't even know that he wasn't going to play until like the first week of the season, where they were saying like, "Oh yeah, he's still getting tests done." And I mean, I'm with you, bro, in that sense of like his career trajectory is definitely on the downward with these injuries, and him obviously going up in age, but and I'm with you that San Francisco is cooked. This season's wrapped up. Like there's nothing they're going to be able to do to really be competitive. Um, but the thing for me is they're kind of hooked. They're kind of stuck with Christian McCaffrey because of the contract they gave him. And I don't want to say stuck in a negative way right now, because I think he could still bounce back from this PCL injury. I think he could recover and um, be an efficient player still. But if you're Kyle Shanahan, you really got to start looking at like an insurance plan for him and making sure that you have another guy who's capable of taking snaps behind Christian McCaffrey and in unison too. I think you're really going to have to start sharing the backfield more, and instead of making him that workhorse like a Derrick Henry,
Or that he was a couple years ago. Like
yeah,
that's over with. I don't think
it's
people
over.
understand it. Like
Yeah,
it's over with. Like
but it doesn't mean that he can't still be a good player, and that's where I'm going to argue with you. Of like, I don't think.
I think you're underestimating how cooked his body is. I think you're really underestimating it, dog. Like I really don't see him playing baby double-digit games next year. He didn't play all this year. He still has the chronic Achilles, and now he has to recover from a torn PCL. I think we have 2 years max of Christian McCaffrey, max of him being in the NFL at all. I think this is his last contract. I don't see him really doing much more in his NFL career after this. I think them rushing him back from his Achilles only for him to tear his PCL 3 weeks later was a big mistake. Because in hindsight, I know it's 2020. He should have probably just sat the whole year this year. He really should have just sat the whole year this year. And when you think about too the fact that like this offseason, they're gonna have to pay Brock Purdy. Like they're gonna have to pay him. And regardless of how you think of him, he's gonna end up being like a top 6, top 7 paid quarterback.
Yeah.
Even if I don't think he's maybe top 10 quarterback. Now you got to think about the rest of the roster construction. You paid Ayuk, yes. But now here comes Kittle and Debo in a year or two. You know what I'm saying? Here comes all those good defense. You just paid Lance Lenore a shit ton of money to play DB. What about Fred Warner and so on? So, like, I'm not here to be an expert on the 49ers cap situation, 49ers fans. So, like, get off my fucking dick. But the point being is, like, you're going to have to pay all these all pros, and they're all getting older. And so I think just McCaffrey, they might be better off just getting rid of that luggage.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do, because I didn't even think about Purdy's contract coming up this offseason. Yeah, he's definitely going to need to get paid. And Christian McCaffrey could be like one of the casualties of that situation. But all right, my overreaction for Week 13, though, I'm ready to talk about the Baltimore Ravens. And normally I talk very highly of them, but I'm overreacting a little here and saying that I'm panicking a little for them, because we've talked about the struggles on defense. I think the defense has looked better, but this last week against the Philadelphia Eagles, what lost them the game was Justin Tucker, which I didn't think I would be saying in 2024, let alone any year Justin Tucker has played, because he's been one of the most consistent, efficient, and just like he's a Hall of Famer at the kicking position. And seeing these misses from him is very uncharacteristic. And my panic comes from the sense of, I hope this doesn't continue in through the playoffs, because these are the kind of games where those points matter. I mean, we saw it against Philly. Those 3 kicks could have made the difference between Baltimore winning that game and losing it. I will say I do love the way Baltimore's handling it. Lamar came out and took responsibility and said, man, we shouldn't even be putting Tuck in those situations. We just need to be better as an offense, score more points. And I commend him for that, and not putting it on him and
throwing him under the bus.
Yeah. And to Harbaugh too for saying that there's not a kicker better than Justin Tucker in free agency, because it's true. There's not another kicker who has the resume of Justin Tucker.
But I feel like with kickers, once they go bad, they go bad. That's always been the rule since the beginning of time. And Justin Tucker, unfortunately for him, like Father Time is caught it. Yeah, Father Time. In the same week Father Time found Justin Tucker, he found LeBron's address. God, won't he do it? God, won't he do it?
No, we're not talking about my king LeBron on this podcast.
He's finally. I've been praying for days.
He's not done yet. And I don't think Justin Tucker's done yet. The season still has the Ravens still have 4 big games left, and these 4 games are really going to be important because as of right now, they're sitting in second in the division behind the Steelers, and the way the Steelers are playing right now, it's not looking like they're going to give up that division. So Baltimore's probably going to be going on the road for a lot of their playoff games. So they're going to need Tucker. They're going to need the defense to keep stepping up, keep playing well, and for Lamar and Derrick Henry to keep doing what they've been doing all season. But if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm panicking a little bit because there are a lot of things on that team that I'm unsure about. They still have all the potential to win the Super Bowl, but I am a little concerned personally.
I'm right there with you. I think they're about to cost Lamar an MVP. Do I feel bad? No, because Dak was robbed last year.
Josh Allen might win MVP, man. The way he's playing.
Josh Allen's playing great. I think it should be Saquon.
Hey, honestly, I'm not mad at that either,
I said it 2 weeks ago. He's carrying that team, boy. And the Eagles are peaking at the right time, and it sickens me. Just when I thought I had to put my Eagles hate cape up, they made me put that Eagles hate cape right back on. So,
hey, speaking of hot streaks, I think before we get into our Week 14 predictions, let's talk about our Week 13 predictions and how we fared.
Come on.
You and me, we're swinging a hot bat this week, man.
I know we was nice this week.
Both of us went 13-3.
Ooh, we was nice this week.
Hey, the only games that we missed on, we both picked the Ravens over the Eagles. You picked the Panthers over the Bucks, which it was a close game. Very close game.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, Chuba Hubbard fucking cost me on that game. Panthers were gonna win that game.
Yep. And then you also picked the Falcons over the Chargers, where Kirk Cousins threw 4 picks. He had a very rough day at the office. And then meanwhile, the games I messed up on, I picked the Bengals over the Steelers. Mistake in hindsight. And the Cardinals beating the Vikings. I thought they were going to be able to take care of the NFC North rival for me. Not the case. Man, can we talk about how bad the NFC West and NFC South are? Like, both of those divisions are just ass.
But before, let's quickly skim through some of our the ones we got right and wrong, right? Dog, I'm actually fucking fuming. I'm actually legit fuming. Chuba Hubbard owes me a goddamn game. Bryce Young's been balling. Bryce Young's been balling ever since he came back from being benched. Like, he's legit, like, a lot, like I said, what Gino say? A lot of y'all wrote me off. I ain't right back. And Bryce Young is starting to look like a franchise quarterback. He's been hooping. Another one too. I don't feel bad about Kirk Cousins. I'm not gonna lie. If he's not playing against the Bucks, he has not been producing this year. He's been so mid, bro. I wonder how much longer they're gonna give
right now, dude.
He can barely move, bro. And I think that injury he had from last year is still lingering. And it goes back to, like, I think Atlanta probably rushed him back too early. He probably wasn't ready to start the year.
Are we going to see Penix this year?
I think we do towards the end of the season. I really think we do. I don't think Atlanta's going to make the playoffs. I think they had a chance early on, but I mean,
they're number 1 in the division right now.
Yeah, that's because the Bucks keep losing these damn close games, but I don't think they're a better team than the Bucks. I really don't think they are. That is a terrible division, though. I got to give a shout out to Seattle. They've kind of put it together the past 2 or 3 weeks, and I wouldn't say are running away for the division, but they're definitely planting their flag towards this last 4 or 5 games that is their division to lose, because the Niners are pretty much out of it, and the Rams and the Cardinals are kind of meh. So, honestly, 2 more wins for the Seahawks probably gets it done.
Yeah, I shouted out Seattle last week for their defense and how much better they're looking in this second half of the season, and they're starting to get healthier on offense with DK coming back. So I do like the way Seattle's trending. I feel the same way about San Francisco and Arizona and LA, but it's still up for grabs, both of those divisions. But it's just I say those divisions are bad, but I think it's just I'm putting them in comparison to how strong the NFC North has been, and obviously the top two in the NFC East have been really impressive in Philly and Washington. So, yeah, I don't know.
We didn't even talk about did we talk about the Thanksgiving games?
We
or was
did
that last week? We
and
didn't even talk about the Thanksgiving games.
we predicted them, and well, the thing is, there wasn't really a lot to talk about in those Thanksgiving games, except actually
Dallas needs to quit fucking around. Stop fucking winning. I'm getting pissed.
Well, they weren't. They had to win against the Giants because the Giants are just like on.
They're the worst team in football. They're the worst.
Yeah. They're really bad. Packers took care of the Dolphins. We knew that was going to happen. It was freezing cold, but I think the game we have to spend some time on is the Lions and the Bears, where the Bears had a chance to win the game with 20 seconds left on the clock and a timeout still left. The clock hits zeros as Caleb Williams throws an incompletion to end the game. And that was the nail in the coffin for Matt Eberflus as the head coach of the Chicago Bears. What more is there to say, man? Bears are going to bear.
Bears are going to bear. The cycle continues. They're going to probably get – because, I mean, it looked like Ben Johnson was kind of flirting with the idea of going to the Bears. I kind of see Ben Johnson probably going to the Bears this offseason and the cycle continuing. The Bears are going to bear. They kind of – like I said, they really have not recovered since the Washington game. That Hail Mary, they have not recovered because you can look at every single one of those games. They had a chance to win it, and they have not been able to look past it and get on the other side of the W. So, do I feel bad for them? Not really, but at the same time, they'll be all right. Chin up.
You know what makes me feel even better about this is the reports came out this week that the Bears, Jim Harbaugh wanted to coach the Chicago Bears, but management said no. So, I just love how inept.
And Jim Harbaugh is such like a Bears DNA type of coach too.
Yeah, I think he would have done wonders for them, but of course, the Bears were too stubborn. Couldn't put aside some Big Ten politics on their side of they didn't want Jim Harbaugh in the building because of his dealings at Michigan, and the Chargers are going to reap the benefits while the Bears suffer. And they really just got to overhaul that defensive and offensive line, bro. They really need to start winning in the trenches because I don't think Caleb is the problem. Like, he's obviously not playing perfect, but you have not put him in a position to succeed. Horrible coaching. And, when the O-line does, protect him, he's got to make better decisions. So, give credit where credit's due to him for some of the plays he's made with little.
And the accountability to him owning up to that. Even Eberflus didn't really throw him under the bus, and people were dogging Eberflus. And Caleb was like, you know what, that's my bad. That game was on me. At the end of the game was on me, which I 100% agree. Should Eberflus have called a timeout? Yes, he should have. But at the same time, he put his trust in his players, and the players, it was just execution. That's what I put it down to. Like, they could not execute.
Yeah, and I mean that's been the story all year long for them, and it doesn't seem to change for the Chicago Bears. But
not one bit.
We are now getting into our Week 14 NFL predictions, and as we record this is after our Thursday night football game, which we talked about at the beginning of the show. And if it's cool with you, I just don't want to talk about it.
No, like I said, you already picked your sorry ass Packers winning.
I
picked Detroit. You know what I mean? They held it down. I would say Marcus Thomas's favorite team, but his favorite team is the Steelers, which we're going to talk about in the first game. These headphones are whooping my ass right now. Oh my god! But the first game I think we should talk about is Browns versus Steelers, 12 o'clock game. And honestly, I think it's pretty safe to say Jameis Winston is now the best show in the NFL. He is box office. No other player in the NFL, bar maybe Patrick Mahomes, are you watching anything and everything that he has to say? From the pregame press conference, when he's getting, not even pregame interview, when he's getting talked about his preparations going into the game. During the game, where he's throwing for at least a pick six and 2 tubs, at least. And they're going to be darts too. To the other team. But and then even the post game where he was giving a prayer for God to deliver him from pick sixes. Jameis Winston's box office. There is no debate about it. People watch the Browns for this roller coaster because Browns are terrible, but Jameis Winston makes them watchable.
I'm right there with you, bro. I love the way Jameis conducts himself off the field, on the field, throwing 6 touchdown passes, 2 of them to the opposite team. There's no other quarterback like Jameis. Because on top of that, he broke the Cleveland Browns passing record, I think, in that game.
Cox sources, yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah, maybe someone can correct me in the comments, but he went absolutely fucking ballistic in terms of the yardage. He had 4 touchdowns.
Jerry Jeudy was why Denver did not put Pat Surtain on him. I do not understand because he was torching the other guy. Torching his best game of his career, easy.
Broncos were really missing Riley Moss out there. He just adds that really hard work ethic.
Enough of this white cornerback agenda. Cooper DeJean is having a good season. Let it go. Let it go.
Hey,
but who you got between them and the Steelers?
I think the Steelers are going to win this one. I think the one they took in the Snow Globe a couple weeks ago was a product of the Snow Globe. So I'll take Pittsburgh. They're on a roll right now.
I'm right there with you. I think they got the Browns have always been the Steelers of recent memory, their Achilles heel, and I think they already got their game off them. I don't see the Browns winning too.
Yep.
Bet that. Well, let's move on to the next game. We got Saints at the Giants. Oof, another snooze fest. Giants are at home. I think the Giants are comfortably the worst team in football, especially without Daniel Jones. Thought I would never say that. They might still be the worst team in football with Daniel Jones. But I'm going with the Saints.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the Saints here too. And to circle back on our Daniel Jones thing, I told you he was going to go to a contender. So
went to the Vikings.
Yep, and the Vikings are right in the mix, and also have had some quarterback problems with Sam Darnold. So maybe we see
he's turning into a pumpkin. Yep, just like how we expected. Yep. And speaking of the Vikings, that's going to be our next 12:00 game.
You're taking the Saints too?
Yeah, I'm taking the Saints. I'm taking the Saints. No, the Vikings are on a bye this week. Why do I think the Vikings play this week?
No, the Vikings do play week 14.
Who do they play?
It's play the Falcons.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, the Vikings were our next game. I know I wasn't tripping. We got the Falcons at the Vikings, another 12:00 game. Even though I do think Sam Darnold is turning back into a pumpkin, somehow, some way, the Vikings are still 10-2, and they're like how they're 10-2 and they're not going to win the division is crazy to me. 10-2, probably going to get the first wild card spot, unless they fall off a cliff at the end of the season. But they're definitely going to make the playoffs. And I see them beating the Falcons. I don't see Kirk Cousins. We talked about it earlier. He's still playing hurt. They probably should have not started the season with him, let him come back all the way from his injury because he's been stinking up the joint. And I just don't see it getting any better. Give me the Vikings.
A part of me wants to say Kirk Cousins revenge game.
It is a revenge game.
It is a revenge game. So, you know what? I feel like I always pick against someone in the NFC North. And again,
you're going to stick with leave with the hate. Leave with the hate.
Just for the hate and for the storyline, too, of Kirk Cousins returning to Minnesota. I think the Falcons can pull off a win. Do I really think so? Probably not, but I'm here for it. You
need to catch up, bro. I'm 12 games ahead of you.
Yeah,
we only got like 5 weeks left.
So I really need to start taking some leaps here and hope that the Falcons can pull this upset off. So I'll take the Falcons.
Bet that. Next 12:00 game, we're gonna have the New York Jets at the Miami Dolphins. Both teams coming off tough losses. The Jets just stink. All they got to look forward to is the Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca documentary coming out like later next year. But and the Dolphins too got smoked by Green Bay on Thanksgiving, so I don't think really it's changing too much. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins at home. I don't really have too much of an explanation. I just think the Jets are terrible, and honestly, I think the Jets have, especially Aaron Rodgers, has mailed in the rest of the season.
Yeah, just a train wreck. I don't think the Dolphins played very good football, but they're back in Florida, taking on the Jets. So I will go with the Dolphins as well, even though I think the Jets will make it a game.
I think it'll be a game for sure.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a game for sure. Next game, we got another 12 o'clock game. We got an AFC South matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Tennessee Titans. Both teams in the Travis Hunter sweepstakes. Jaguars sitting at 2-10, Titans sitting at 3-9. It looks like Trevor Lawrence. Am I tripping, or is Trevor Lawrence not going to play this week?
I don't think he's going to play. He got absolutely murdered by Azeez Al-Shaair last week. So if I had to guess, Trevor Lawrence is in concussion protocol still. But they actually placed him on IR. So if I had to guess, I think that might be the end of Trevor Lawrence's season. And if I were a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, I would probably want that because the season's dead in the water anyways. And he's your franchise quarterback, so no need to rush him back for a season that's already over.
And cooked. But I feel the Titans is missing like half their defense is on the injury report. So
I'm taking the Titans though because Will Levis is, for all of the shit that he's been getting all year, and some of it rightfully so. I think he's actually played a lot better the last couple of weeks, and obviously Tennessee is not a very good football team still, but I don't think they're going to be in a position to draft a quarterback, nor do I think the quarterback class is very good this year. I think they'll probably go with Will Levis again next year and just look to keep building around him, get him some more weapons because he's still throwing touchdowns to Nick Westbrook-Akine, which, hey, shout out to him. He's been hooping, but who else do the Titans really have?
No, I'm not mad at you for saying that. I'm probably gonna go with you. I think Jacksonville's up there with the Giants. Titans too. Titans are not a good team, but Titans at home. Give me the Titans.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we got another 12 o'clock game.
Yeah, we still got two more. We got the Panthers and the Eagles. The Panthers, like I said, ever since Bryce Young has come back from being benched, they've been really exciting. They've been close to winning games against the Kansas City Chiefs. They probably should have won. They probably should have won this week against the Bucs if Chuba Hubbard does not fumble in overtime. But I don't see them really touching Philly right now. Philly's on a roll. I'm going to go with the Eagles over the Panthers.
Yep. You said it really nicely. Eagles are a buzzsaw. Their offense and defense are both rolling. And unfortunately, Carolina, they're looking good, a lot improved, but this is a very good football team they're seeing in Philadelphia. So I'll take the Eagles.
Bet. Our last 12 o'clock game, we got the Raiders at the Bucs. The Bucs got a good win against Carolina. It was kind of gifted to them. They need to catch up to – I wouldn't say they need to catch up because they're still at the same – they have the same record as the Falcons, but the Falcons have the tiebreaker, if I'm not mistaken, for winning earlier in the year.
Yeah. I'm looking at the standings right now. The Falcons –
yeah, Falcons have the
our 6-6 total in their division. They're 4-1 with those two wins over,
both wins over the Bucs.
Yeah, both wins over the Bucs.
So if I'm the Bucs still have to catch up to the Falcons. I do think they get a win this week. The Raiders are terrible. They're trying to get Shedeur Sanders, so I don't think they have any business. Even though they high key should have won against the Chiefs. Chiefs Black Magic Juju hit them again. They high key should have won. Give me the Bucs.
Yeah, I like the Buccaneers here too. I know you talked about the Giants being the worst team in football. The Raiders are up there too. I mean, offensively, they just don't really have anything at quarterback. That's definitely going to be their number one priority this offseason, and it's going to be interesting to see what the market's going to look like or if they end up drafting one. But yeah, I'll take the Buccaneers over the Raiders here too.
Bet that. Next up, we got another division game. We got the NFC West matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals at home. They played a couple weeks back. The Cardinals really demolished the Seahawks. It wasn't really close in particular in Seattle. I remember picking Seattle that week and I was pissed. And high key, I'm going to make the same mistake again this week, even though Arizona's at home and they're only one game behind Seattle. But I think Seattle's just been much better the last 3 weeks, really, since that loss to the Cardinals. Well, they played the Cardinals 2 weeks ago. What am I tripping? They had a really good bounce back win against the Jets. Am I tripping? No. Seattle beat the Cardinals. I'm fucking tripping. I don't know why I thought the Cardinals beat Seattle. I'm sorry, Seattle fans. Relax. I think they'll do the double over Arizona. I think they'll do the double. It's gonna be hard though, especially in Arizona. But give me Seattle.
I think I picked the Cardinals last time, and I think I'm going to go with them this time because they just looked out of sync in that last matchup in Seattle. Seattle's a very tough place to play. This one, they have the benefit of playing in their own home stadium, and it's a division matchup game. So I feel like Kyler and his boys will see that this is an opportunity to take the lead in the division, jump up ahead of the Seahawks. I'll take the Cardinals.
Bet that. Next 3:00 game, we're gonna have the. Pardon me. Next 3:00 game, we're gonna have the Bears at the Niners. Niners again. Both these teams' seasons are really, really cooked, especially with McCaffrey not playing and Eberflus being fired, and they're basically kind of chalking up the season to, and we'll get him next time. The Bears losing a close one to the Lions. I'm going to pick the Bears this week. I think the new coach bounce is definitely a thing, even if it's an interim coach. I think the 49ers are still gut punch with the whole McCaffrey news. I think the Bears are going to get a really, really good win on the road. That's really going to be probably my upset pick of the week. I don't know if it's an upset because the 49ers do stink, but yeah, give me the Bears away from home.
See, I kind of want to go with you on that one too because I feel the same way. San Francisco is just really hurt right now. Still, I know it's been a theme all season, but like you said, Christian McCaffrey out. I think they just had to put Jordan Mason on IR too. So yeah, just not looking great for San Francisco. I'm interested to see how they're going to get their offense because Debo has not been the same player he's normally been either. So I'll take Chicago. As much as I hate picking them, I think the Bears can get an upset win here against the Niners too.
Bet that. Look at us matching with that upset pick. Well, you picked the Bears, right?
Yeah, I did pick the Bears. Yeah.
Bet. I think this next game we're probably going to be on the same boat. We got the last 3:00 game. We got the Bills playing in LA against the Rams. Josh Allen's playing at an MVP level. The midseason move to get Amari Cooper has really, really helped him out. They're sitting at 10-2. The Rams sit still in the race for the division, only a game back from Seattle, tied with Arizona. But I'm gonna go with the Bills this week.
Yeah, I mean, there's a part of me that would say the Rams just because of the playmakers they have, but Stafford has really looked rough the last couple of weeks. I'm going to take the Bills here. I also am a big fan of Josh Allen and the things he's been doing for them. I've talked about it at length this season, talking about like all of the preconceived notions about him not having Stephon Diggs and him just overcoming them and having an MVP season. I love it. And yeah, I'll have them getting an easy win on their road to hopefully a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're definitely going to be in the mix for sure. Now it's time to go with Sunday Night Football. We do have another divisional matchup. We got the Chargers against the Chiefs. Chiefs at home at Arrowhead. It's hard for me to pick against my Chiefs, especially at home. Arrowhead's a fortress. Even though the Chargers have been good, 8-4, definitely in the driver's seat to get a wild card spot in the tough AFC. But I'm gonna go with the Chiefs.
I'm not mad at it, but I think the Chiefs have used a lot of their black magic juju. And Jim Harbaugh actually has, immunity to black magic juju sometimes. So maybe I think I will go with the Chargers here. I'll go with the Chargers pulling off the upset against the Chiefs. They've won really, really close the last couple of weeks against bad football teams. And the Chargers are not a bad football team. Defensively, they've been really good the last couple of weeks. And offensively, they have a run-first mentality with that backfield of Dobbins, Vidal. And, of course, when you have Justin Herbert running the show, I think things will usually go pretty smooth for them. So I'll take the Chargers against the Chiefs.
That's it. I'm not mad at that though. The Chiefs are bound to lose at least one division game this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad at this pick at all. Next up, we got last game of the week. Monday Night Football. We got the Cincinnati Bengals against my former team, the Dallas Cowboys.
This is good, Yee.
It's not though, because this is the third week in a row where I think Dallas might win. Let me explain. That Bengals defense is awful.
So bad,
Might be the worst in football. Right? Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase have been going insane. But the last time they played Dallas was with Cooper Rush. And Trayvon Diggs had Jamar Chase on lock, which Jamar Chase said himself in an interview this week. And even though Trayvon Diggs hasn't played the last 2-3 weeks since Deron Bland has come back, he might play this week. And the Dallas defense has been hooping. Again, it's been against bad teams, right? Not bad teams. Washington's a solid team, but they played really, really good against the Giants. Played really, really good against Washington. They're playing at home too. Dallas, neither one of these teams have nothing to lose. They're not going to play the playoffs. But I feel like the stupidity with the Cowboys might push them over the edge in the sense of they might try to win this game. Both these teams should lose this game. Realistically speaking. Am I tripping?
No, I mean, honestly, with the way the Bengals defense is playing, yeah, I'm with you. I think the Cowboys could definitely make this competitive and find a way to win this. I personally am going to take the Bengals. I think they're still in the mindset of they could make the playoffs.
They're 4-8.
Yeah, I think it's kind of far out of reach now with them sitting at 4-8. But with Joe Burrow and Jamar, I don't think they're the kind of guys who are going to back away. And as far as I'm aware, they're playing in this game. So I think they'll go to Dallas, go into Jerry World.
I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think it is. I think I think Dallas has to lean – for them to win, they have to lean on what they did the last 2 weeks. They've finally been giving Rico Dowdle the ball, and he's been doing pretty decent. Again, he had a great game against the Giants. But the Giants have a really good front seven with Dexter Lawrence and Brian Burns and all them boys. They have a good defensive front. And Rico Dowdle was able to run the ball pretty effectively. I know Zach Martin this week. I know you don't pay attention too much to the Cowboys, but Zach Martin was saying this week he's really considering retiring. And if that's the case, man, another surefire Hall of Famer, the best offensive guard in his generation, and another added to the list of another Hall of Famer that wasn't able to win nothing with Dallas. Add him to the list. Add it to the list, man. It's just. But I'm gonna go. Exactly. It's become a routine. But honestly, I'm gonna go with hope here. I'm gonna go with hope that we could still be in the Ashton Genty sweepstakes. Put the Cowboys finally out of their misery. I don't want them winning because after this week, bro, they play the Panthers. Dallas might beat the Panthers. If they win this week and then against the Panthers, they're gonna be sitting at fucking 7-7. Are you shitting me? Are you fucking shitting me?
Yeah,
I'm gonna be sick. I'm gonna stay with the Chiefs another year if that happens.
That's purgatory, bro. Because at that point, you're not even anywhere near high enough in the draft to pick anybody who could make like an immediate impact, like an Ashton Genty, Travis Hunter.
Well, I mean, you might be able to get a Luther Burden or a Emeka Egbuka. I'm more of a Emeka guy, but I just want Ashton Genty, man, for when I come back. That's my homecoming present. But I'm gonna go with hope here. I'm gonna hope that the Bengals offense is good enough to get them this dub. Hopefully, Cooper Rush, just be Cooper Rush. That's all I need.
Whew. Well, I'm interested to see how this week goes because it's. I feel like there are a lot of games that could go either way, despite there not being a lot of like super big matchups. Anything else that you got for week 14?
Man. I feel like we did a really good job deeping into all of our hot takes and our predictions, our records. It's getting close to the end of the season. Like I said, we maybe talked about maybe putting a nice little parlay down the last game of the season, see who does really, really good in our picks. Hear me? Just to see what's up. But yeah, man, great to do another episode with AWR picks with you.
Yes, sir. And we didn't mention earlier the reason why there were so limited games, or I guess this is a shorter episode, is because there are 6 teams on a bye this week, including the Baltimore Ravens, Denver Broncos, Houston Texans, Indianapolis Colts, the New England Patriots, and the Washington Commanders. So if you felt like this one sped by a little bit, it's because the NFL season is speeding by right before our eyes, man. And it's getting really bittersweet, man, because I love playoff football. It's my favorite time of year. But at the same time, it means that football season is coming to an end, and we're going to get back into that drought period where, the skies are looking a little gloomier, and we just don't have that football to look forward to.
Exactly. Fall. But what you can do is look back at all our NFL picks videos from this season. Make sure to subscribe. If you don't want to watch any more NFL picks and want to wait till next week, fine by us. Tap into the podcast.
Hey, you know what would also be really fun and a challenge for some of our viewers is go back and watch some of those old NFL videos and see if you can get any of our takes and see how they've aged. You could call us out on them or praise us for being some Nostradamus. I don't know.
Yep.
Hey, we really appreciate all the support that we've been getting. And again, like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, all the support that we've gotten throughout 2024 and all the support we've gotten on this channel and the podcast, we are both very, very appreciative of it. So just want to take a moment to thank all of you, the viewers and listeners, and for helping our recording grow.
Thank you very much, guys. But this has been another episode of NFL Picks, AWR NFL Picks. You already know who it is, the Young Rottweiler, Ethan Hamilton, 007, my partner in crime. And we'll catch you guys later. Peace.